Hi, welcome YouTube. So today we're going to make fresh bread. Alright, so first we're going to start with 2 cups of liquid, warm liquid, 1 cup of water and 1 cup of milk. And we're going to add 1/4 cup of sugar. Get our measuring cup. And 1½ tablespoon of active dry yeast. Whisk it together with your little whisk. Whisk it, whisk it, whisk it. And then just let it sit for approximately 5 minutes. Alright, so it's been approximately 5 minutes. Here is what our active yeast looks like. Little foamy, not too bad. You can leave it here for 5 to 10, even 15 minutes, it's fine. So after you see it a little foamy, let's add the rest of our ingredients. 1½ tablespoon of salt. Table salt, be fine. Here it is. Next, we're gonna add 1/4 cup of melted butter, which I have right here. So first, let's take off the hook first. Now let's add the pan or the bowl. Get the 2 little things in there. Push it into place so it's locked. And now we add the hook. Lift it up. And I like to have it starting to mix while I add our 6 cups of flour. So come back here. I like to add 1 cup by 1 cup so it can incorporate. You can always lower it, of course, to add it. Continue mixing, and it's gonna mix for maybe at least 7 to 10 minutes until you see a good dough ball form. So we'll be back. Alright, so here's kind of our dough. Kind of forming ball. It's more doughy opposed to being so much flour. So it's still mixing. Give it a little bit more time, it will make a ball, and you'll see it going from side to side. So just a little bit more time. We'll start lowering little bit more, but you let it go for another 2-3 minutes, and the ball will continuously form. So once it's finished, we'll be back. Alright guys, so here's what kind of the end result is. We have a ball. So all I did now was add a little bit of oil, olive oil around here, so that when it's rising, it doesn't stick and we can remove it out a little easier. I'd say maybe half or a quarter of a teaspoon. But now that we have it like this, all we're going to do now is let the dough rise. To do that, just what I do is I get a clean towel and cover this up. Voila. And I also just put it back over here in where mixer is at. Let it sit there for approximately an hour, and the dough should rise double the size. Once that happens, we will knead for a little bit and put in our pans. All right, guys, after an hour, this is what it kind of looks like. The dough has doubled in size. So next, we have to split the dough to make 2 loaves and knead it. Well, we need to knead it first and then split it so that we can add it to our pans. So here, let it out. And we are going to add just a little bit here of flour. So let's knead this just a little bit. Put as much flour as you feel is needed. Knead it for just a little bit. Make sure you're washing your hands as you are touching food that will be consumed, of course. All right. So that's the flour. Now I'm just cutting it with my hand. You want to kind of get the same two little balls, right? For 2 loaves. We have here 2 pans. Uh-oh. So we are going to grease our pans so that we can add our dough. Pan 1, pan 2. All right, take your first, and we're going to shape it to the size of the pan. So we can do this one first. Now everyone does it their own way. This is my way, so no way is the best or the perfect only way. All right, so kind of stretch it out a little bit. You want to get it close to the size of your pan. It's not perfect, but kind of the shape of your pan, right? So now we put it in the pan, and let's do the other one. This one's slightly smaller, so you can make your balls accordingly to your pans. These are just the only 2 pans that I currently have, and they work just fine. All right. Kind of fold it in. Seen plenty of people kind of pinch the bottoms together. Again, just form it to fit your pan, guys. So here is the second loaf. Voila. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to let them rise once more. You have them here. Kind of put it in the middle so that it can expand both ways. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing as we did when the dough rose double the size. We're just going to take our towel once again and cover this. Now I've seen people use plastic covers, oil it so that it won't stick to the dough. I've just used a towel to cover it, and the dough rises just fine. Double the size to over the our pans. But once I just let it rise for approximately 30 to an hour maybe, and they come out just fine. All right guys, we're back, and as you can see here, the dough did rise again, slightly above the pan. I did wait maybe about an hour, 45 to an hour. Make sure that your dough is sitting in a warm place and not cool so it can rise. So now we're going to add the dough into the oven, preheat at 375, and let it cook for about 25-30 minutes. All right, so now we just sit and wait. All right guys, here is the final product. So I baked it for 20 minutes at 375. If you like, you can add some butter on the top, but I'm just gonna let mine go ahead and cool off. Make sure to take it out the pan and leave it on your cooling rack. Let it cool all the way before you start cutting it. But they smell so delicious. Can't wait to have for dinner. Once your bread is warm, you can slice it up. Well, not warm, but when it's cooled off, you can start slicing off your bread. I got this little bread slicer from Amazon, about $5-6. Set it to how type of slices you want. Perfect bread slices. Nice and soft. Oh yeah. Look at that.